All right, welcome back, everybody, man. Appreciate everybody tuning back in. Another episode, LGR Live, Sunday Night Hoops, man. We got 40 teams left, 30 games, 6 days left of the season. The season will be over Saturday. No more Louisiana high school basketball, man. Just want to give a shout out, man. Shout out to those that are still tuned in watching, those guys that have been eliminated from the tournament, still tuned in. Viewership has been strong throughout, man. If you can, click the share button. Share the stream for us. That helps a ton. Share the stream. Share our page. We're live on both Facebook as well as YouTube. You got someone that doesn't have Facebook, we're live on YouTube as well. You can always go back and watch it. But yeah, click the share button. Click the like. Follow us. We'll be out there every single game starting tomorrow. Games start tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll have 5 games per day all the way through 30 games, man. Coach Kendrick, man, what's going on, man? How's the North and the weather up there, my guy? Congratulations. First off, top 28 bid, Parkway, back in it.
Oh man, it's weather's good. We're locked in, focused. Eating film for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes,
So
sir. I saw that. Man, like, talk about that. Like, how much goes into, like, obviously you're locked in first round, you're watching some film, man. But how much as coaches, like from a coach's standpoint, that's in the mix here, that's going on to the top 28 by the travel, 5 hours down the road, man. How much more are you locked in each round, and how much more, like, you want to do anything and everything you can to give your team an opportunity, man? Just talk about that a little bit.
man, you don't leave no stone unturned. You turn over every stone. You try to figure out tendencies of each opponent, what they do well, what they don't like, and you try to see if you can exploit their weaknesses and minimizes their strengths. And that's what, as a coach, man, it's just you got to be locked in and you got to put your kids in the best position to win the game.
Absolutely, man. And man, before we get into it, I want to go ahead and come out and follow my sword with Odell. Sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. Shout out to Odell, man. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit, but y'all did have me a little nervous with the Homer game, so we had to make sure Odell was back in the top 28, man. But I'm looking, and I kind of wanted to lead way into that. Looking at the list of teams here, I think the LHSA and March Madness has got to be extremely excited with all the teams and the fan bases that made it, man. So, and it's a testament to everyone that's been tuned in watching it with here. The teams that have made it this year are going to bring a ton of fans. There's going to be a ton of big time crowds. I'm really excited, man. I'm looking at the list all the way Monday through. I don't feel like there's any day that is weak or soft or light on fan base. I think every single game is going to have a ton of fans. From the Oakdales, the A meets. Shout out to Doyle. Doyle broke the crystal ball as well. Those teams that travel extremely well made it to the top 28, man, and they're back in it. For those that don't know, it's $20 to get into the gym, and you're there the whole entire time. So I really suggest for everyone to show up early, show up often, claim your seat. It's going to be one of those things, if you're not familiar with it, it's general admission, $20 to get in. Once you got your seat, you're good to go. It breaks down to $4 per game if you stay and watch all 5. So it'll be a lot of really good basketball. Claim your seat early. As people leave, you can kind of move down. That's kind of how things go. But shout out to everyone, man, that made it to the top 28. We'll kind of get through some comments here, and we'll go ahead and get right into it. Again, Coach Kendricks with Parkway. Shout out to him, man, making that run to the top 28. We will keep him out of it for the most part. Let's catch up on some comments, man. Yeah, again, Odell, shout out to you guys. Part of your batch is back in. I'm excited about that division too. Before we get too deep into it, I feel like that division has a lot of kids from last year that Menard as well, that were like new kids on the block, I guess you can say. This was their stage. The Monty Youngs, Hobsons, those kids like that. I'm excited, and we'll try to give out some names as we get a little closer into those other divisions. Of kids that to watch whenever it comes down to this, and who's going to step up? Who's going to be the Amani Young of this year? Who's going to be the Ross back-to-back MVPs with Wiseman? So it's really exciting. Some good basketball. But jumping into it, man, we got Walker defeated Houghton, handled them pretty well, 74-33. They advanced back to the top 28. They're arguably the favorite, have been the favorite year in, year out, it seems like, or at least in the conversation. Shout out to Corey Arnold and that coaching staff and that program that they've built to be at the Division I 5A level. To be in the conversation is all you really want, but they're like really at the top of the conversation year in, year out. So everyone's picking them. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of pressure, probably more pressure this year than ever on that program to get it done this year. You know, you just keep getting to that mountain, keep getting to that mountain, keep getting to that mountain. I think this is the year that they do knock it down. I think Walker is the favorite over Parkway. Some kind of key matchups there. Somebody that I'll be keeping an eye on is going to be, Dakota Howard from Parkway. Really want to see how she, this is her first time on this big of a stage. She's probably the only impact, quote unquote, player that hasn't been to this stage and at least got on the floor. Everyone else was here last year, both Parkway and Walker. So I'm really excited to see how she handles. I think she'll be up to the task. She's the second leading scorer for Parkway, so that's going to be interesting. Leading rebounder as well. So she'll definitely need a big game if they're going to upset Walker. Walker, can they shoot it well? That's going to be a thing that I want to keep an eye on. Got Edders, Leah shoots it really well. Jemiah Van shoots it really well. Kennedy Yard shoots it well. They've got a ton of shooters that can really flat out shoot it. Are they going to shoot it well? So that's kind of my two keys that I want to look at going into that game. And then I also want to look at Trinity Thomas from Walker and how does she match up with Dakota Howard. Trinity Thomas is super underrated whenever it comes to this Walker High School team and what she brings to the table. She'll be going on to play college basketball at LSU Eunice, I believe. So congratulations to her. But Trinity Thomas draws a tall task in battling possession in, possession out with Dakota Howard. So I'm excited to see how that kind of matches up. But I see Walker advancing as they'll go on to be in the championship game, which will definitely be a good one, man. But Parkway will definitely be there ready to defend that state title. Jumping down to the bottom one, we won't get coached in too much trouble. We got a rematch, man. Mandeville versus Denham Springs. That game was actually a rematch of December 1st, where Denham Springs defeated Mandeville 63-49. I think that was the Denham Springs tournament. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to catch up with all the comments. But I think that is the Denham Springs tournament. So I think that was at Denham. Both teams are a little bit different, I guess, in the way. Before we get too into this, man, shout out to Denham Springs and that the all access that those guys did. I think that was students have done that. I will post that a little bit later, man. That is really cool. They really dove into the season starting from the summer all the way through. I think they're like 8 episodes in, man. It's really cool. It's like 30-minute episodes. You get the coaches, assistant coaches, the players, like feedback back and forth, man. It's really, really well done. And win, lose, or draw, man. I'm really excited to kind of see how this next episode and the episode after this top 28 transpires. So shout out to, if that's students doing that, man, hats off to them. If it's anybody, I'll post that. It's definitely something to look into. And some other schools can kind of look into that as well. But getting back into the game, Denham Springs is probably a slight favorite here, given that they did win that game. I think Mandeville, and I think in that all access, they talk about that. Denham wasn't playing at their peak, right? That was something that they wanted to focus on. They really got into the weight room. That was really cool in that episode there, where they really got into the weight room, and they've been lifting all the way through. So they wanted to be much stronger at the end of the season. They didn't feel like they were as strong as they were to end the season last year. So think that Denham is at a higher point than they were. I think Mandeville is also there. Somebody to keep an eye on. I think whenever it comes into maybe a new face, a new name that's not quite household just yet, is going to be number 5, Alana for Mandeville. If Alana has a big game, she's arguably the best player. Although they do have 2 great seniors, a great surrounding cast, Alana's going to be the guy that whenever the plays break down and somebody's got to make a bucket, man, Alana's going to be somebody that I want to keep an eye on. So number 5 for Mandeville is definitely somebody that I can kind of see having a coming out party. She's a sophomore. Definitely somebody to keep an eye on. She'll be moving up our rankings. She's had a great summer and a great high school season as well. Dillon Springside, they're bringing 5 seniors here. So starting 3 of them, so they're very heavy upperclassmen. With Olivia Slack's probably somebody that I would keep an eye on. You got the shooter, Reagan White. Can she really, in this big environment, Mandeville as well, Denham also, both kind of rely on the outside shot. Which team can settle in and understand the depth perception? So if you've never been there, the depth perception is much different than on a high school court, right? So you can't see the background. There is no background. It's the bleachers, the glass backboard, and all that stuff. It's a lot more difficult to shoot in these settings. So that's something to keep an eye on throughout the whole break. But in this game, if I had to pick somebody, I am probably going to lean Denham Springs here. I just like what the mission they've been on. But it's a battle of the seniors, right? Mandeville, Denham Springs, whichever set of seniors plays better, will probably end up winning here. But I'm going to lean towards Denham Springs as they kind of cruise through. Denham Media team does Denham TV, great job on the inside look, man. Definitely great job, man. Shout out to them. We'll post that. And then we'll move into the championship game. We'll go ahead and get into the championship because I don't know if we will break down this. So I got Denham advancing, taking on Walker. I think whoever wins the Walker and Parkway game is going to be our champion. So I think that is the championship game that we will see there on that Thursday night. Whoever does win that will advance. No disrespect to Mandeville or Denham Springs, but I just think that top side of the bracket, Walker mostly, is going to be too hard, too much to handle. Coach Killinger, man, you got anything else? Kind of catch up on these comments a little bit.
Motivation.
I'm keeping you out of the crossfire, man. Keeping you out of the crossfire.
What's up, Corey? What's up, Chris?
There you go. Fair enough, man. Definitely, man. Great comment there. The Alana that I was talking about, the Benoit sisters are the truth. So Alana does have an older sister. She's going to play college basketball. Mandeville's got 2 young ladies that will go play college basketball. I think Denham definitely has some talent, and they will definitely have some young ladies that will go on and play college basketball as well. This division has a lot of up-and-coming kids, D1, and they also have a lot of kids that will transition from this year onto the college court next year. So filtered all the way from JUCO, NAIA, D2, all the way through. There will probably be 6, 7 kids that are seniors that will play college basketball that are in these 2 games here. And then outside of that, Division I, you probably have another 5 or 6. So it's going to be some really good basketball, man. Some really good basketball. Jumping into the next one. Let's see here. Coach Kendrick, man, you up. Huntington.
Hey, man, listen.
Just like you said, no problem.
No problem. Huntington is, I think, just it's gonna be strong. They've been strong all year. I think everybody, North Louisiana, Central Louisiana, has probably picked, Huntington to win this division all year long. Once you stack up those 4 D1's prospects and those guards from Carly Hamilton to Kendall Graham to Shy Bell to Jayla Marshall, and then not forget the super freshmen that they have in the inside. Coach Shine does a real good job. Him and Coach Ricky coaching this team. They believe from day one that they're the best team in the state. Arguably right. I would put my head on them of being probably number 1 in the state. They have not ran from any smoke, and I think you have to play the best to be the best. And they've challenged themselves all year long, and they've came out on top. We've had the fortunate to run into them a couple times. Great battles here in the North. I'm going Huntington all the way on this one.
Hey, what about some impact players that you may see kind of stepping up to this stage that we haven't seen? Whether it's anybody in this group, like we talked about, like we got this is an opportunity and we have a lot of young ladies that step up. And who's some people in this division that you see kind of stepping up to
Well,
the
listen,
stage?
Woodlawn's got a super guard in Price herself, so you can't discredit her. She's going to probably be up to the challenge, as we think she would. But when you look at Huntington, man, as you said with Dakota Howard, you have Carly Hamilton that's not been on this stage. You have Kendall Graham, who's all those besides Shy Bell. You got Jayla Marshall, who's not been on this stage, but I think they're up to the task. When I say I think Woodlawn has to not let these girls get on a run, because once they start playing locked in defense, it is hard to stop them from rolling. In that top bracket, and then at the bottom, I think you got to look at Liberty. They got a core and they got a senior there that's trying to go out, and Whitney,
Yep.
and she's trying to go out a champion, man. And so we're gonna see. But then you got John Curtis, right? You got Shakai, you got Daniels, you got Kiki. They're trying to make their mark as well in this division. So those are the matchups I'm looking for, man. But I'm going on record of Huntington John Curtis final, and I'm going Huntington.
Boom! You heard it here first. I'm pretty much kind of square right there with you, man. And since you were on the young ladies, I kind of echo what you were saying. The inside presence of Woodlawn, I think, is what kind of shocked Saint Scholastica in the last game. So I do think that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Like you talked about the freshman. What's that young lady's name? Dupree. So the freshman in Dupree, how is she going to step up to the stage? I think the battle tested guards is going to be a for sure question. They're going to be fine with that. No problem there. But can Dupree step up? If Dupree gets in foul trouble, Woodlawn's inside, they're banging on the boards. That might be something that we can kind of keep an eye on. That might be something where Woodlawn may have a little slither, right? Because, I mean, they're huge underdogs here. Let's not get it twisted. When we talk about college prospects and young ladies playing at the next level, the players that are on this Huntington squad is just loaded with talent from D1. A lot of kids are going to play the next level. And whenever you're looking at it, there is no senior, right? No senior that's starting. No senior that's getting super heavy minutes. So this team's going to be back here again next year. They will hands down be the best team next year. No questions asked. But I agree with you, man. The person that I'm really looking into is seeing Marshall. How does Marshall bang inside? I think Marshall kind of gets a little bit under the radar here with this group because of all the other guard play. But we saw it in person whenever we were at the tournament down in Lake Charles, where Marshall just kind of took over. She had the better matchup. She had a four guarder. Kids got handles. She's played point guard. She's played guard, so she can put it on the floor, even though she does kind of play the four there. So I look for Marshall to kind of be the next kind of guy stepping out. But again, Carly Hamilton is kind of who I got circled. I think Carly Hamilton is the guy here that kind of gets things going whenever things are tough, whenever the team needs a bucket. Give it to Carly Hamilton and let her make a play. So Carly Hamilton, number 20, that's probably the person that I'm looking forward to seeing the most from Hamilton. Go ahead.
And with Hamilton, man, shout out to Carly. She's playing her role where she just, when she was at Shreve, man, she was more of a point guard there, and she had to kind of do it all her freshman year. She sat out last year. We thought we might have had something there at Southwood with her, but it wasn't to be. But then she comes into Huntington, where she's next to phenomenal point guard in Kendall Graham, who can do it all from the point guard level. That Carl can just move over to her natural two spot, man, and just flat out score the basketball. Not taken away. She can play the point guard very well, easily, if Coach Shine needs her to. But she's quite naturally in her role right now. She's just she's in her rhythm, and she's playing some really, really, really good basketball. And don't shout out. There's another person that you need to look out for, Huntington, man. Her name's Andy down low. She's very underrated because they rely on their guards a lot. But Andy had this team on her back in the post last year. Dupree came in, kind of win the spot. But Annie's right there if they need her. So it's another posting that Huntington has in their repertoire.
I love it, man. This is a crazy comment here. When I worked at Southeast Middle in Baton Rouge, had Price from Woodlawn, future D1, Foreman from Lab, future D1, and Whitney Hart from Liberty, all on the same middle school team. My goodness. Whitney Hart's going to Southern Miss. Friggin' Foreman's going to be mid-major plus, and Price as well. That is unbelievable, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and like this is a great comment too. Like, don't forget about LaFear. LaFear is fearless. Like, that kid's a dog too, man. So Huntington is definitely the favorite because you can forget about LaFear, right? Unfortunately, there's just so much other people to talk about. Like, we'd be on here all day talking about Huntington. But no discredit to her. That I've seen her take over games, both AAU and high school, and just go get buckets at the end of the day. Looking at that bottom half, man, Liberty. Can Liberty match up with John Curtis? I think they definitely can. I think John Curtis is the favorite here, just because of style of play. When we talk about guards win games, John Curtis has better guards. Huntington has better guards. So the guards are going to be the bottom side of what's going to win these games, especially on this big of a stage, this big of a court. Players to watch out for, again, Shakai Desnu, number 3. If you haven't seen her for John Curtis, she is the top 2026 in the state. She will be, we're doing a Gatorade player watch list. She'll be on that list. She'll be fighting for that honor next year, despite only being a sophomore. She's already made 1,500 points. She's lived for this stage, so again, she's got to get to this stage year in, year out, and then now she's got to get her team over the hump. This is her team. She's got to carry her team over the hump in these next 2 games, where they are slight favorites and then underdogs when it comes to Huntington. So I'm really excited about that one. Looking forward to that one. And again, I keep talking about Kiki Nelson, number 11, one of the best defenders in the state. I really want to see the matchups and who is she going to be defending. Huntington and Coach, can you look this up? Huntington and John Curtis played earlier. See what the score was. That was a great game. We did that game. Could have went really either way. Amani Daniels, she's number 2. No, I'm sorry. That's her sister. Amani Daniels, number 15. She's a bigger guard forward. She'll be probably drawn the task of guarding Whitney Hart. So I'm going to really look for Amani to stay out of foul trouble. Amani's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. If Liberty can get Amani in foul trouble, Whitney Hart can really expose that. And then another guy that I'm looking forward to kind of stepping out. 2 guys I'll name for Liberty. Jefferson, number 4, the senior guard. I think she can have a big game. Again, we're talking about guards win games. She's going to have a big game if they're going to upset John Curtis. And then Laverne. What is do y'all call her Kiki as well? I forgot what they call her, her nickname. But Laverne, the forward for Liberty. She's averaging 15 and 10, banging on the boards, super athletic, quick off her feet. Somebody's got to guard Whitney Hart, and I think Laverne, being the weak side forward there, she can capitalize. They run some high-low action. That is 2 very good bigs. Yeah, Kiki. So Kiki's going to be somebody to keep an eye out on. She's number 15 for Liberty. You got anything else? Go ahead. Did you find that score?
Now, what score were you looking for? Huntington and who?
Huntington and John Curtis, they didn't play each other in
Nah, they played each other this summer at our thing up in Bossier City, and Huntington wins by 1 at the buzzer. That's it. They didn't play this year.
Wow, that's okay. So I'm trying to see, who did John Curtis lose to in the they lost to LCA. Yeah, they lost to LCA. That's what it was. They lost to LCA. So I mean, John Curtis has been in those games year in, year out. They've been in some tough games. The coach has done a great job of challenging them this year with some of the top teams. So I think they will be ready to roll. I think that game could be a lot closer than people think, the John Curtis versus Huntington. But whenever you're looking at this, we're going to see John Curtis versus Huntington this year and next year. Arguably, that's the top 2 favorites. Ready to move on to the next one? Let's see.
Division 2, the Wiseman Invitational.
Wiseman Invitational, baby.
Wiseman Invitational. Albany's done a good job just getting here. Tradition never graduates, right? So they've done a good job just to get here. Coach has done a good job getting their team back here. I just think, this is a rematch of last year's state title game here in the semifinals. And I think they run into this four-headed monster in Wasman with Ross, no doubt, wanting to prove that, 3 years in a row, can she be the state MVP 3 years in a row? You know what I mean? You got Wilson, who has helped them. And that's what key here in this semifinal game. Every year that Wasman has won it, it's been Wilson. I mean, I think, right? Yes, it's
Yeah,
been
Wilson
Wilson.
goes crazy in the semis,
Simmons,
and
exactly,
Ross goes crazy in the finals.
in finals. And so Albany's got to find a way to stop, not just only stop Ross, but of course they got to find a way to stop Burton down low. And but Wilson, she's lived for the semifinal games the last 2 years during this run they've on. And last year she stepped up and played good in the finals as well. So of course I got Wiseman here. Coach Wilson and Coach Otis nobody has answered my question yet, and I'm going to keep asking it to him. Is anybody on record saying Wiseman from Wiseman want to say three-peat before we get started here in Hammond? And so, so that's who I got. Wiseman supporting cast. They got a couple girls off the bench that's going to look to keep it rolling how they have last year. But does Albany have anybody that can stop Brittany Burton in the inside? And I think that'll be the key here. Of course, you got Ross and Wilson and Ferguson, but Brittany Burton is Brittany Burton, signed to Southeastern, correct? So she'll be playing in her future home there.
That's right. Her last high school game will be at her future home. That's pretty cool. What about the bottom? You want to talk about the bottom? You want me to go?
All right. Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. I picked Church Point over Bastrop. We both did.
We did.
I just felt
did.
I felt like Church Point had a little bit more than what Bastrop could offer to deal with. Close game, 4 points, but still Church Point went up to on the other side of Monroe and got things done for. And then South Bow handled Iowa with 2-point game. That's a district opponent. It's hard to beat somebody twice, 2 times, 3 times, however many times they played. And South Bow got it done though. Shout out to Coach Iowa, man. She went there, turned that program around in 1 year. Her first year there, had them knocking on a top 28, man. So Church Point, South Beauregard. I'm gonna have they played?
I don't know. Look it up for us. let me know. And they want to let you know, man. You're forgetting about Augerson, man. It's so crazy that
I said Augerson.
Wasman is so crazy that they got so many players, man. Like you can just same thing like LaFleur, man. You just forget about Augerson. That's unbelievable. But we talked about it. Where does Albany have anybody that can match up Brittany Burton? Unfortunately, the young lady that could is out with an injury, season-ended injury. She battled with her last year, man. Ross just was too much on the outside. So, battling on the inside, Wasman's got a huge advantage this year. So they're going to really try to bang it inside. So I look for Brittany Burton to have a big night, like we talked about on her last, one of her last high school games being at her future home. But Albany's going to live and die about a 3, I think. If they really have any chance here. So I'll expect really hard closeouts from Wasman's end against Albany. If Albany's going to have a shot, they're going to have a shooter shot, and that's going to be about it. Ava Shields, one of the best shooters in the state. She is number 23, averaging 14 points a game. She's a all-star for the LHSA BCA all-star game, so she's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. There's some other young ladies that can flat out shoot it. Ellie Johnson, number 10, one of the best freshman shooters in the state. She was flat out stroking it. How does she kind of adapt to the stage? Being this is her first time on the stage. If she comes out and knocks down 3-4 threes, that could be very interesting, right? If you got a freshman that comes in here, knocks down 3 or 4 threes, that's somebody that's a little further down the depth chart that you may not be looking at. But Ellie Johnson, number 10, somebody that I would definitely keep an eye on. But Albany's got probably a fairly good shooting squad this year, so they do have a shooter's chance. You have to limit their turnovers, especially their live ball turnovers, and they're just gonna have to shoot lights out. I would say in order for Albany to have a shot at it, they need to make 8 plus threes. If they don't make eight
Whoa.
threes, I don't think they will be able to keep up with the inside presence of Burton and Wassman kind of in general. On the bottom side there, man, Church Point South Bow. So you hadn't given us a verdict yet, but I'll give you a name to keep an eye on. From Church Point, Cheyenne Parker. I believe she's still unsigned forward, averaging 15 and 13. That is somebody that could be the Amani Younger this year. Can step up on the stage, make a name for herself. She's number 22 for Church Point. That's somebody that I'm going to keep an eye on. This is a great comment right here. Albany is the best team in the state at boxing out. No questions asked. So that is something to keep an eye on for sure. I think they'll limit Wassman to one shot. It's just going to be, they're going to freaking drop it inside to Burton, and she's just going to make a move. It's going to be way too easy. Pick up full court. It's going to be tough for Albany. I agree with that comment as well. Just a full court pressure and limiting turnovers. That's great comments, guys. Again, if you haven't already, guys, click the share button. Share the stream for us. Help us continue to grow this platform. And this is an open platform. So all these comments, you guys are tuned in even more than we are, especially with your own personal teams or any type of comments, teams that are in your area you feel confident about commenting. Sharing is going to help us right here. That's 2 great comments. I like Church Point to win, but Wassman's definitely top dog. I agree, man. I'm picking Church Point, the Cinderella story, I guess you can say here. You know, seeing what Coach Broussard has done and from this program is unbelievable. Again, a guy that has single-handedly put a program on his back. He's the only coach listed on the roster, right? He may have an assistant coach now. They're at the top 28, but hasn't had an assistant coach for the most part the whole year, man. So shout out to Coach Broussard, man, what he's done, putting this program on his back and just leading by example, man. Being a very hard worker. First one in the gym, last one to leave. And, going anywhere is anytime, any place. Bring these kids outside of their element. And that's why you're seeing Church Point with this opportunity. Make it to this top 28. I love that they cut the nets down at school. Brought everybody back into the gym, cut the nets down in front of everybody. That was a really cool experience, man. Really cool to see that. So shout out to Coach Broussard and Church Point. He's got his hands full now. Like I talked about, Coach Johnson from South Bow. I have a lot of respect for her and her coaching staff and what they're done. They're going to be very well prepared. So if I'm looking at this, South Bow's been here, done this, got this T-shirt, right? They're going to be experienced. It's not going to be an easy task for Church Point. They're going to have to weather the storm, try to keep everybody calm, especially if South Bow comes out to a big-time run. South Bow's going to have a great game plan coming through here, man. They're going to have a great game plan. I just love the story of Church Point and the run that they're on. So I'm going to pick them more so as I am rooting for them to advance here to the first ever state championship game. Got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, man. I don't know if you touched on that comment right there. 3rd year in a row that Albany and Wassman will match up in Hammond, man. So that's unique right there.
Absolutely. March Madness, baby. And that's what we talked about when we were coming into this. Who can be the new guy to come through, right? Church Point is that new guy. Everybody else, South Bow's been here. Wassman's been here. Albany's been here. Year in, year out, these guys have been here. Iowa almost got over South Bow. Maybe they'll get them next year, be another new kid on the block. But Church Point's the only new kid on the block. Only new kid on the block. Everybody else has been here, done that. And it's been kind of chalk, honestly, all the way through. South Bow, they didn't put in their scores or anything. As far as watching people to watch, number 22, Gunter, is probably the person I would be interested in watching on the stage the most. I'm not sure if they had anybody make it to the All-Star game either. I'll come back to them while you're on this next one. All right, let's see here. Jumping into the next one, man. LCA Invitational.
Well, I've been riding the Jada Richard train, Jada Richard and LCA train all year, and I'm not jumping off yet. Uh, Jada Richard walks into Hammond, rolls into Hammond, man, probably on a mission. Before she jumps on the bus there Wednesday or whenever they'll travel over, she's gonna be locked in, and she understands her legacy's on the line to get this state title. Arguably, will a month or so, whenever they'll be announced, the Gatorade Player of the year for the state of Louisiana. So she understands, and she's gonna be locked in. Bunky's gonna have um, um, a their hands full on trying to stop her, and her supporting cast with Eve Alexander, and if they got Samuels back, it just makes the job even much that tougher. And then you go down, but I'm rolling with Lafayette Christian and not jumping off that train. And then you got Madison Prep and Vanderbilt Catholic. I think they've played before, and I think the comments from last week said Catholic handled Prep. But man, coach has been here time and time again. We looked up; he had a down in Madison Prep. He had a down year last year. Can Vandy beat them again? We shall see. Brooklyn, a freshman. I knew that kid was going to be special when I first seen her at one of our LGR events. So how she's going to react to on being on this stage. Is it too big for her? We'll see. And then you have Charles and Journey over at Catholic. It's going to be special to see that matchup. I'm going to roll with Prep.
Prep to beat LCA, you said?
No, Prep to beat Catholic, man. I ain't jumping off the LCA.
I got you, man. All right, so
Yeah,
you heard it here first, man. Prep comes back and defeats Vanderbilt Catholic in a rematch of the Sugar Bowl game. Shout out to it's gonna be some really good games, man, all the way through. This is what I'm talking about. We wanna jump ahead and crown Huntington. We want to jump ahead and crown LCA. But these games are gonna be closer than they have been, or than I think we are expecting. Right, I think these games are going to be a lot closer. Whoever does come through on the bottom side, Prep or Vanderbilt Catholic, is going to give LCA everything they can handle. Right, LCA is just not as deep as they have been. Their top five is better than anybody's top five in this, but it is the gap is a lot closer this year. Again, like at the end of the day, you got Jada Richard, so that's a lot better than pretty much everybody in the states. But the gap is closing, right? I think this game's going to be closer in the championship. I think the Huntington game's going to be closer in the championship. But breaking it down, man, shout out to Bunky, man. Shout out to Bunky again, being the new kid on the block here, making a run. Young lady that we want to highlight here is number 14, Fields. Fields is senior averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, man. So looks like it's gonna be all eyes on number 14 as LCA is gonna be trying to take down Bunky. Bunky's gonna be a little bit overwhelmed here, I believe. LCA will kind of cruise through this one. Trying to catch up to some of the comments here. Yeah, we talked about this last time. Prep was without some key players in that Vanderbilt game, so that is what we're gonna keep an eye on mostly. Players to watch for Mass and Prep. Junior guard Paige Hawkins. Paige Hawkins has not been on this stage. Gabrielle Dotson, the freshman, she's number 11, has not been on this stage. And Brooklyn Smith, the other freshman sensation, arguably one of the top freshmen in the state. She's averaging 15 points a game, 6 assists, has also not been on this stage. So whenever you're talking about being on this stage, not be on this stage. Vanderbilt Catholic has been on this stage last year here, the year before that at the Lario Center. So I think Vanderbilt Catholic's experience is going to be enough to kind of get them over the hump here. I could see if Prep gets off to a great start. That's going to be very important here. Prep's got to get off to a great start. Things have got to be going well get some confidence early. But if Vanderbilt Catholic could come out here, punch him in the mouth, and things kind of start getting a little wobbly, I can see Prep maybe hitting the panic button earlier than a Vanderbilt Catholic who has already been there. Players to watch for Vanderbilt Catholic, I like Journey Johnson, number 3 for Vanderbilt Catholic. She's gonna have to shoot it. She's gonna have to shoot it well. Again, and this is somebody I want to watch whenever you get to this stage on this bigger court. Can she knock down that big time 3? Can she knock down those threes in the corner, drive, kicks? Because they're going to be really kind of packing inside on Charles. Michaela Charles, number 33, is their best player. So she'll be kind of banging, going off the floor, off the bounce, creating. I think there's going to be a lot of help on the inside. They're going to be kicking out to Journey Johnson. Johnson's going to have some open 3 opportunities. Can she knock down those? That's kind of 2 matchups there that I'm interested. I'm going Vanderbilt Catholic on the bottom side, just with the experience. Again, great coaches in this all the way through. You look down through at all 4 of these coaches and how many state championships they've won, how many top 28s they've made it to, how many games they've won at this level. This is one of the most decorated classes as far as coaches all the way through. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. But I think the youth in Madison Prep is going to hurt them a little bit. And Vanderbilt Catholic is just trying their hardest to catch LCA. And if they can't, what are they going to do on the after Jada Richards? Man, they're going to try to walk her to graduation, get her out the door, man. help her off the court, man. Nice knowing you. Appreciate you. But look, serious message here, man. I talked about it last time. Michaela Williams. Go out and watch this kid play, man. Jada Richard is that dude right now. Jada Richard has scored 3,000 points. This young lady can hoop. You get that feeling every single time whenever she comes on the court. She impresses you year in, year out, game in, game out. Go and watch them play, man. What time is that game? I can't see it right there. 2:45.
2:45.
2:45, man. If you can't make that one, make sure you make what's that, March 2nd, 2 p.m. her last game. Come out and watch, man. Like, kids like this don't come every year. Like, going on to LSU, the LSU that it is now, being the high major plus program, is nothing to bat an eye on. We will not have another young lady go on to LSU until possibly Caroline Bradley, the 2027. And that is no disrespect to anybody in our class. That is just LSU is at a whole nother level right now, man. They're just at a whole nother level, and Jada Richard is at that level, right? So please, man, if you're if you love basketball, and watching Michaela Williams last year was amazing. Having a front row seat there was nothing to bat an eye at. She lived up to the hype, and Jada Richard is going to live up to the hype in this one as well. So make sure you circle these games. Come out and watch this. If you have a young kid that's looking to play college basketball or looking to play high school basketball, whatever, bring them to the games, man. Bring them to the games. Got anything else?
No, man. Good.
All right, let's see. All right, you're up. This is Rose Pine, baby.
Rose Pine. Coach talked to Coach the other day. He said, we didn't play good, but I told Coach, a win is a win at this point, right? You're just trying to win and survive. I know he's turned his focus to Westlake. Rose Pine. Again, I've been on this train too. I'm not getting off of it now. I believe in the kids at Rose Pine. They brought everybody back from last year. Norris. What is she going to do? She is kind of the engine that drives this train here. And I think she'll step up big and be that floor general that she is going to LSU, correct?
Yep.
And I think can she repeat? I think was she state MVP last year or no?
I think so.
Okay. So can she repeat that? That's kind of a storyline there. He's got other kids that's going to step up. I got them in the. Last week I predicted them. I was on a roll and I left them at the semifinals. So let me go ahead, and I got a phone call and they bashed me and they said, I thought you were with us. And so I'm going to ease them now into the finals. to make it into the finals there
Are
against
they
Westlake.
steamrolling? They're steamrolling through here, or
They're,
what?
they're, they're, Rose Pine will steamroll their way through. I give them that. I give them that.
All right, no. What about the bottom side?
On the bottom side, I think Dahl has made a good run. Hey, shout out to Dahl. Hey, Dahl, I want you to know it was not me with the crystal ball. Okay. I do want you to know that it was Mr. Golf there that picked against you. And we love that you put the motivation up in the locker room, coach. I would have done the same thing and help your team get over the top there. Good job. I think they run into a now this time I am going to pick A-Meat. I think they run into a formidable opponent and A-Meat who's on a mission as well to get back. People probably say, oh, they're going to fall off once they finally lose Jean Pierre and whatnot. But here's Coach Pierre is keeping this program going. And Haley Brownsville has stepped up and said, no, let me show you what I could do. And on this big stage, stars are born. You know what I mean? And which star will be born? I think Haley is one of the kids you got to watch in this game. And if she has a night, I got Rose Pine versus A-Meat in the finals.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to that one. You can hold on to that. We're going to come back to it because we might not be back live. So you got to give us who you got winning that one. I agree, man. Shout out to in this division, we had two teams upset the crystal ball. We had Westlake. Shout out to them, man. And the twins and Madison and Gabby, man. Gabby is somebody that can defeat Rose Pine, right? Whenever you look up at it, and whenever you're looking at the steamroll of Rose Pine, and how do you take the steam out of this engine in Rose Pine? Number 21, and Gabby Guillory and her sister, and Madison, number 20, is definitely going to be somebody to keep an eye on. If Westlake wins, it's going to be behind these two young ladies and their style of play. Gabby's style of play is going to be very physical, very aggressive. It is going to be a tough matchup for Rose Pine. If you can get the three-headed monster in foul trouble, that's going to be a little interesting. We talk about Norris. Norris is going to be really pushing the tempo. It's going to be really pushing the tempo. So limited turnovers, getting back on defense. Westlake can set up their defense, make it a half-court style game. I think Gabby can kind of keep them in this game. So new kid on the block. This year's Amani Young, I guess I can say. Gabby's gonna be somebody that I'm really looking out for here. Kelly Norris made her name last year. She continued to make her name again this year. That's gonna be a good matchup there. But I'm leaning towards Rose Pine as well. Westlake, if they do win, and we have Rose Pine add the crystal ball, that'll be back-to-back crystal balls that they'll break, man. So shout out to them, Westlake, popping the bubble and getting into the top 28. I believe the first time in as long as I can remember. Anybody know when's the last time Westlake's made it to the top 28? A-Meat is definitely hot. Great comment here. Looking down at this Doyle and A-Meat game again. Shout out to Doyle. Really a lot of underclassmen. They don't start anybody that is a senior. Start juniors and freshmen, man. So shout out to them. Great group that they have there. It looks like they will definitely be back for this year and next year. I just don't know if they can get over the hump of A-Meat. Whenever you're looking at A-Meat, you got Haley Brumfield. She's number 2. You already talked about her. One of the top unsigned seniors in the States, regardless of classification. And then her running mate, Miracle Irvin, number 1. Black Ice, as her nickname is, man, she is going to have to step up. If they're going to win a state title, Brumfield's going to be kind of rocking and rolling there, but Miracle's going to have to step up. I think it was last year she was banged up. Pretty sure it was last year. Maybe even the last 2 years she was banged up. So her first time really on this big-time stage. How does she handle that? How does she handle that stage? So inside presence, they do have a little bit of a big body presence on the inside, but it's going to be mostly guard play there. So mostly guard play, looking at number 1 and number 2 from A-Meat to help them advance to the state title. So we got A-Meat and Rose Pine in the championship. Coach, what you got, man? Put us on record here.
Have been on the train. I'm not jumping off. Shout out to Coach Pierre. I really respect her, but I am going Rose Pine all the way. I am going back to back. Coach Kelly, get it done. That group of seniors that they have, I think they have the experience. They're going to be there, and I expect them to get it done this year in Hammond for back to back.
All right, so you heard it here first. Amite Lady Warriors cutting down the nets. Upset Rose Pine, man. Upset Rose Pine. I'm going with the home team, arguably, as Amite's just 2 exits up the road from there. I think they packed the house. I've seen them compete with the Mandevilles, some of the top teams in the state. And I really believe Miracle Irving's going to be that kid that they need. She was that kid against Mandeville in the championship game at the Sugar Bowl. And Haley Brumfield is going to be, like we talked about, one of the top unsigned players in the state, regardless of classification. As far as in that senior classification. But it's going to be the Miracle. Miracle is going to be the difference. That's going to get Amite over the hump. And like you talked about already, shout out to Coach Pierre and what she's done for this program. They've been knock on the door. Jim was able to give them the first one. Everyone thought they would fall off. Heck, we're going to really think they're going to fall off this next year. But who knows what's going to happen, because we thought they were going to fall off last time. So I'm just really liking what I'm seeing from this Amite team. Seeing them in person a couple times. Again, basically being a home court game here. They've been at Hammond multiple times. The run from Rose Pine was amazing last year, but I'm looking for that same lightning in a bottle from Amite this year. I think Amite gets it done. I think Amite defeats Rose Pine in the state championship game, man. Anybody else have any comments? Comment below. Keep us updated. We'll definitely get to this with Coach Hicks. The coach from Hicks, Coach Jordan Cross, arguably Coach of the Year, regardless of classification. That is very impressive, what she's done over there. First-year coach. Coach, they said you're sleeping on South Bow.
It's your neck of the woods here, man. I'll let you handle that one.
They say you're sleeping on South Bow, man.
Y'all sleeping on South Bow. Coach does a good job with South Bowl time and again. Just getting the conversation started. It's gonna be great. See those fans in Hammond. Gonna be a good game between them, man, and we shall see.
We really are sleeping on South Bow, honestly. Whenever you look at South Bow's been here, done that. We're both kind of leaning towards Church Point, but it's not any disrespect. I'm almost leaning towards Church Point as being the new team to kind of get over the hump. I just love what they're doing, the coaches doing over there, and the run that they're making, right? But it's just so much credit to South Bow and the program that they have. Like we talked about, there is no All-Star that's made the All-Star game, and then they're in the top 28 again. They do have several seniors, but for no one to make it to the All-Star game, that's crazy. Yeah, they're in it every year, and just a testament to that program and to that team.
Church Point, South Bow, good luck, both of them. Whichever one get over that hump, it's gonna have a pretty tough battle in the finals in that four-headed monster, right?
Yep.
So, I still don't have either one of them beating Wiseman. So,
and we'll jump into this Division III, man. Shout out to St. Thomas Aquinas. We called that one. That was a huge upset. Number one team. STA went on the road and defeated Dunham. That was a huge win there. I've been kind of saying this all year long, that or at least all break long. I think U-High is the favorite to win this division here. They're just a well-balanced team. But I'm really looking forward to this division because this is the division where new people come out. Like we're talking about new names to kind of keep an eye on. Someone commented earlier already, 1,000-point scorer, Kennedy Aldridge. What is Kennedy's? I think Kennedy Aldridge is number one. Somebody comment below. Let me confirm with you. The freshman is averaging 19.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Kennedy Aldridge, like we talked about, she's already scored 1,000 points. She's at U-High. She's number one. She's a name that I'm really excited about. Kind of keeping an eye on there. Taylor Lee. She's a junior, one of the best shooters left in this division here. She's somebody to keep an eye on. Again, can she stroke it from outside? Can she score at that bigger? I guess the bigger stage, the bigger court, the bigger venue, right? With the depth perception. Did Rose Pond get it? I don't think Rose Pond got any transfers. And then STA, man. Again, shout out to STA. We talk about Jordan Cross a lot and Hicks. Shout out to first-year head coach Amber Donez, former STA standout, McNeese standout. She was a dog in high school and a dog in college. Now she's coming back. Coached some in college. Now she's coming back to her alma mater at STA. So shout out to Amber Donez and what she's done. She lost her best player. Best player transferred out to Ponchatoula, and she did get some help. And Peyton transferred in from North Shore, which definitely helps a lot. But this STA program is coming, man. This STA program is coming, and it's a lot because of the head coach and what she's getting rocking and rolling there. So Amber Dinez is going to be somebody to keep an eye on. And that's the coach at STA. As again, she's from this area. That is literally one red light away, man. One red light away. So breaking down this game a little bit, going into a little bit more detail, STA is going to have to limit turnovers. It's kind of the game plan that we're looking at for a lot of teams. Limit turnovers, settle a team down. Neither one of these teams have been here in quite some time. That's another reason why I'm really excited about this division. But limit turnovers, don't turn the ball over live, and really, shut down number one. All eyes on number one. All eyes on Kennedy, and close out hard on Taylor Lee. If they make it a half-court game, all eyes on number one, close out hard on Lee. SDA's got what it takes, man, to come in here with an upset. As far as a 9 seed, that's, I believe, the highest seed that made it to this round. And this division is wide open. All 4 of these teams can be cutting down the nets, and I would not be shocked at all. But I do think U-High is going to be the team that advances here. They're going to be the better overall team night in, night out. Players to keep an eye on. Again, the transfer of Peyton, she is number 13. She'll be starting point guard for STA. She's got to handle it, man. She cannot turn it over. And again, these guys have not been here. Neither team has been here in quite some time. So who handles the pressure? Who gets out to a good start? Whoever gets out to a good start is going to be have a huge advantage in this one. Moving down to the bottom side, man, Menard taking on your defending state champs. You can say something about Parkway. Parkview. We'll come back to that one. But Menard, somebody to keep an eye on. Carly, the sophomore forward, averaging 15 and 15. Shout out to her. That's going to be a big body that you got to keep off the boards, man. You're going to have to keep her off the boards. And then their senior forward, averaging 14, number 14, Abigail. That's going to be another one that's going to be kind of your 2 go-to guys there. And then this is, again, what we talked about. I love this division and what it's shaping up to be, because there's going to be some new names, right? Some new names. We got some new names last year. And Bernhard Addison, she had a coming out party, played extremely hard last year. She's a senior. She'll be leaving it all on the court. She's going to be the most, composed and the most experienced out of anybody on the court out of this division. So I look for Bernhard to kind of wheel her team back into that state championship game where they'll have a rematch of, I think U-High and Parkview played earlier. But they'll be able to advance into this championship game and defend their state title. And I'll have U-High defeating Parkview is what I'm going to go with. What you got, man? What you got over there, man? Steamroll.
No, sir. I'm going Parkview in that one. Parkview, I'm not picking against them this year. They really showed what they were made of last year, coming in as underdogs, and they go and win the state title. And here they are back at it again. Man, I'm going Parkview Baptist. They've had a great year. And I'm not jumping off of that one. So we'll see which one is the bad guy once we get to him, and you or me with those fans. But I'm going Parkview all the way.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. We'll jump into the next one, guys. This is gonna be, let's see, Arcadia, baby, Lakeview. Uh-oh, drum roll. I heard that there might be an upset brewing over there.
It depends on who you're saying who's the upset because Arcadia Lakeview was here in the state title runners up last year. Arcadia, was in the semis last year, got upset by Oakdale, what I would say, on a miracle shot at the by eventual state MVP Monty Young. Monty Young, right?
Yep.
And this year, man, I think Arcadia has Justice Young back. True enough, they got Deasia Alexander who's balling. They got some transfer help in for those kids from Gibbsland Coleman. But the question is gonna be who's going to stop Timberland Washington?
Is Justice Young back? She's not on the roster on the thing. I'm looking at it.
As far as I know, she's back. She's playing. Coach, unless Coach just left her big kid at one of her best kids at the house comes from the state tournament. It's not, I don't know. But I think the question is going to be who's going to stop Timberland Washington. And if Arcadia can't figure that out, I think they're going to be in a long night. I know we talked about it before we came on the air. It was a tough draw from Arcadia. We've been saying that all the tournament started with having to play Oak Grove last in the quarters, barely squeaked by Oak Grove, and we're gonna see. Shout out to Coach Curry, got nothing but respect for, but I'm rolling with the Lady Gators here in Timberland, Washington crew to get the job done over the 1 seed. I'm going Lakeview all the way.
What you got? What you got at the bottom, man? What you got at the bottom? White Castle.
I can't go against Oakdale. Now Oakdale, I know, like you said, they've been kind of having us on upset alert with their play, but they handled East Beauregard pretty well there. I think they have enough. Shout out to White Castle though, because if I'm not mistaken, they had a kid leave to go to Southern Lab, correct?
I don't know. Did they?
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I believe so. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But they're still here, and to be one of the teams here in trying to stand in the way from a potential rematch of last year's state title. But I'm going to be the man. As Ric Flair used to say, you got to beat the man. And so if White Castle wants to be the state title, they got to beat the defending state title.
Okay.
So I'm going Oakdale versus Lakeview in a rematch of a last year final. Timberland Washington does not get in foul trouble like she did last year. We shall see a different ball game. And I'll wait till you pick yours to drop where I'm going with it.
All right, fair enough, man. Arcadia and Lakeview, man. I'm excited to see again when we're talking about getting on this stage, man. Kind of a coming out party. So Arcadia, Deasia Alexander had a coming out party, what I believe last year, as everyone's like, man, who is this 8th grader, long, lanky athlete at the guard position, man? She was running the points. She's averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists coming into this one as a freshman 2027. We've got her ranked number 2, and that's no disrespect because the young lady she's behind has 8 SEC offers in Caroline Bradley. So Deasia Alexander, what we say, like what the kids like to say, is her. I'm really excited about this matchup, man. Whenever you're looking at this breakdown of seeing elite guards that will be playing at the next level, you got Deasia Alexander, the next up and coming, trying to take on Timberland Washington, 2025, one of the top 2025 guards in the state. Washington's averaging 23 points and 6 assists. Shout out to her, man. That's going to be a great matchup. I'm loving to see Timberland Washington's number 4 for Lakeview. I'm loving to see that head-to-head matchup right there, man. Whoever can come out ahead in that one is going to be the one that's going to come out victorious, in my opinion. Whoever wins that individual matchup is going to be the one that's going to kind of get their team over the hump. Because when it comes down to it, man, having the best player on the court is definitely a huge advantage whenever it comes down to these games here. And I just see Timberland Washington, man, being here on this stage for multiple years. I see her doing what it takes to get over that hump, back into the state championship game, and competing for a state title, man, where I think they do have enough to take down. They're probably the most talented team. Washington, in my opinion, is probably the most talented player left in this one. So I do lean towards her getting over Arcadia and back into the state championship. Again, shout out to White Castle. Going on the road and beating Lake Arthur is not an easy task. We saw that in Oakdale last year. Oakdale went on the road and beat Lake Arthur. Is it their turn to make that run, man? Is it White Castle's turn, to make that run, go down this magical run, the same thing that Oakdale did last year? Player to keep an eye on, the junior guard, Cameron Link. She is number 12, averaging 24 points, 6 assists. She's come to multiple LGR events and stuff. Young lady can flat out hoop. If she gets going, if Cameron Link gets going, it could be a long night for Oakdale, man. It could definitely be a long night for Oakdale. I like Oakdale's depth. I like their size overall. I think they're a little bit deeper and a little bit better than White Castle. But Cameron Link has the ability to put the team on her back and go get a couple buckets, man. So I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people may think. But I think Oakdale having the advantage of being here and, making that run last year, I think they'll be a little bit more calm, cool, and collected this year. Definitely make another run. And I got Oakdale advancing to the championship. This is what I talk about, too. Like, this is going to be White Castle and Oakdale. It's two of our biggest fan bases. So they're going to travel really well. That's going to be a great game. I think that's why you see, that game's at 8 o'clock. That's why you see that game so late, kind of as your marquee matchup. And I think we're going to get everything we want from that one. That's going to be a great game. So we both got Oakdale and Lakeview in the finals, man. Who you got winning it all then, Coach?
Man, I'm going Lakeview Lady Gators to win it all and set up. They will set up what possibly could be a rubber match next year with Timberland Washington going out her senior year next year. Could they both get back and figure out who's the best in that class, in that division, in a third matchup next year? But this year, in matchup in the rematch, I got Lady Lakeview Gators getting it done this year. If Timberland Washington stays out of foul trouble, I don't see Oakdale handling her at all. And Timberland Washington MVP, Coach Fuller, state championship coach, shouts out to the Lakeview Lady Gators.
Oh, you heard it here first, Oakdale. That was him. That wasn't me. That was him. I'm going with unsigned senior Miss Hobson, averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. You heard it here first. You're two-time state champion, state championship MVP. She wears jersey number 11. Be on the lookout for her. Hobson and Amadi Young, the dynamic duo, get it done. They go back-to-back state champs. I just love the experience that they had, the run that they had last year. To be able to get a little bit of a scare, like we talked about in the second round against Homer, to come out and dominate in their last game. I think they got a lot of momentum going into this next game. I think White Castle might be a little nervous. Oakdale's been here, done that. I really like for Miss Hobson, number 11, and Amadi Young, who is number 12. 11 and 12, walking their way back to a state title, back-to-back defending champs. And, man, shout out to this game's going to be great, man. I love this division. I love the fan bases from all 4 of these. Whoever does win this one, man, it's going to be so fired up, man. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. And we'll catch up in the comments with you guys. We're going to go ahead and move on. Southern Lab. Uh-oh. The rematch we've been wanting.
The rematch we've been wanting. I think since it went down the way it went down last year, I think everybody has circled Division 4 select on their calendars. I think everybody will be in heaven in their seats if we could get the matchup that we all want, and that is Southern Lab trying to redeem themselves against Northwood, the two-time defending state champion Northwood Leaning Lady Gators. I got Southern Lab over Sacred Heart. I'm going that far, and Hamilton Christian's going to give, I think, Northwood Lena all they can handle. But Short Stuff Battles has been there. Going from a kid in the 6th grade that didn't never want to go around the gym, and now to a kid that's running the show on a 2-time state title team. She put in the work. The Coopers built that thing from nothing to what it is today. Lab's got a chip on their shoulder, up 18. Had it in their hands and let it slip out last year to Northwood Lena. But yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and go on record. It's gonna be a good one. That one's gonna be a tough call. But again, if Lab wants to be state champs, they have to beat the champs. And I know Lab has not dodged any smoke this year. They've played everybody. Their schedule alone, if everybody looks at their schedule right now, they would say, go ahead and give Southern Lab the state title. But I think Northwood Lena is going to have something to say about that and that experience being there. So you can never, and I know the Coopers, they love to be the underdog. They've been the underdog for the last 2 years. And so that's going to be a good one.
So you got Northwood Lena beating Hamilton Christian and Lab beating, what are we coming back to?
Yeah, Lab beating Sacred Heart.
Oh, looks like I might be getting a little bit of a little bit of error right here on the oh man, where we go on the Wi-Fi. We'll catch it up though. All right, so we got, let's see, Southern Lab. I like Southern Lab, man. I think they just got so much on their mind, man, whenever it comes to this game. It's just when you had that bad taste in your mouth and you get the opportunity to redo it, which they do. We talked about that again, man. They just don't get the opportunity to redo history very often, especially in the sports world. So I've got Southern Lab cruising through Sacred Heart. Shout out to Sacred Heart, man. Some young lady to keep an eye on. Number 22, Shiver. She's averaging 21 points and 4 rebounds as a senior guard. She'll be taking on, she's going to have her hands full taking on Southern Lab. We know the Miss Patan is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. What is this roster wrong? Look at this. Yeah, this roster is wrong. Southern Lab's in the wrong roster, looks like. But yeah, Patan and Kinsley James is the 2 names that you want to kind of keep an eye on there. But when you look down at the bottom end, man, Hamilton Christian, Mackenzie DeVille, she's number 0, averaging 22 points, 11 assists. And, you got Kayla Harding is averaging 14 points. She's kind of like the next guy up. Destiny Ware is also averaging double-digit points. So she's number 4 and number 15. Hamilton Christian has enough, right? They have enough to get over the hump. But again, it's the experience, man. I just keep going back to the experience of what it takes to get over that hump. It's one thing to get to the top 28 2 years in a row. It's another thing to win 2 state titles 2 years in a row. And with the experience comes a lot of shit can go wrong at the end of the day, right? Which a lot of shit has gone wrong for Northwood Lena, and you can still come out on top. And I think because of that experience, the hard work that they put in over the last 5, 6, 7 years, that's why I'm leaning towards Northwood Lena. And whenever it comes to Northwood Lena, you already hit the nail on the head. Short Stuff, number 5, Battles. one of the top unsigned guards. I think she's going to have a coming out party. It's her team. She puts the squad on her back. She gets it done. It's going to be really exciting to see Battles. No pun intended, but Battles battle it out with DeVille. That's going to be a great matchup. And then Moran, man, Moran seems to always step up in these big games. So Moran's number 33. She's also unsigned forward, averaging double-double, 14 and 11. For some reason, somehow, she's kind of shows up in these big-time games. So that's what I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I see Northwood leaning, advancing, and then I see Southern Lab revenging the loss from last year. Did you go on record yet?
Nah, man, you know I'm right. You know I'm riding with the North, man. I'm not voting against. I'm not going against the North here. Be the man. You got to beat the man, and that seems to be the message throughout all these playoffs, man. With all these divisions, looks like everybody has a chance. That you have division, the defending state champions are still in it, and teams have got to beat those defending state champions in order to be the champion. So I'm going with the champs until somebody knocks them off, man.
I like it, man. Including Parkway. Shout out.
Yeah.
All right, moving into the last one, Division 5, both ways, man. Division 5, I like this division, especially as it's starting to shake out. Man, we saw a huge blowout of the people kind of got a little talking into that one, but I think we're excited to see this one moving into next year. It's going to be split up. Division 5, for those that don't know, will be split up between Division B and C. So, what you got, man, with this side, man? Oak Hill, Plainview, and Family Christian and J.S. Clark.
So that's breaking news right here on LGR, right? We go back Division 1 through 4, and then we go B and C next year.
Yeah, BC. Yep. Yeah, they voted themselves.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. So no, Oak Hill's gonna win this one, I believe. I see Oak Hill's. I think the real game here in the semifinals is gonna be whoever can win that Family Christian and J.S. Clark game. That's gonna be the more competitive game to me in this bracket. And whoever comes out of there beat up probably is gonna have a tough hand on playing Oak Hill, because Oak Hill didn't dodge nobody either. They went out and played the 5A teams and prepared themselves this year for this moment. Do they get it done again? Yeah, that's to be seen, right? And so I'm gonna go on record J.S. Clark versus Oak Hill. In a rematch of last year's tournament title game. And I'm going to go Oak Hill on record to win a state title again.
Oh, you jumping right into it. I like it, man. My man's wasting zero time here. Some young ladies to keep an eye on here. I'm looking forward to seeing Cameron Sutton, number 14. She's a junior guard / forward for Plainview. Seeing how she matches up at this stake. I think coming off an injury last year, she was a little banged up. So really excited to see her fresh, ready to rock and roll. Oak Hill, we talk about, is the man, right? At the end of the day, Oak Hill is the man, has been the man in this division. And they got banged up this year, man, 26 and 13. So that they saw some peaks and some valleys as well. So it's interesting to see how that kind of works itself out in this state championship game. But some players to watch, number 54, Alexis Dyer for Oak Hill. She's committed to LSU A as well. That is a great sign for them. She's going to be the guy at the top of the press, getting a lot of deflections. I wish deflections were the stat here. She may lead this entire state in deflections. Just having that long length there at the front. So she's averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds. And you also have Green. She can flat out shoot it as well, kind of leading them, rocking and rolling. You have your point guard and Ducey, number 12. That's kind of their three-headed monster. And to have a three-headed monster there, man, is very, very prominent for this division here. Moving down, as I do see Oak Hill again advancing to that one. There's going to be way too much to handle for Plainview. Family Christian, man. Family Christian, J.S. Clark. Shout out to both these coaches, man. It's gonna be a good game. Coach Rochelle with Family Christian, he posted on social media, man, talking about coaching his daughters and everything. His daughter's a senior guard number 00, somebody to keep an eye on. She's averaging 16 points and 6 assists. She's got something to work with as well. She's got number 1 power forward. She's a sophomore, and Gaddis, that is the kind of their guy wing. She can kind of match up with Oak Hill's Dyer, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And then the big girl on the inside, what is her name? Number 33, Harry. Man, I love that kid. This is the kids that I'm talking about. She's averaging 13 and 12, getting on this big stage. She's got an opportunity, especially if they do win this game, getting to play 2 games on this stage. If I'm a junior college coach and I'm looking for somebody who has soft hands, some good post moves, she's somebody that I would look into. So it can Gaddis and Harry kind of combine, go high-low action. Can they get the ball inside? They've got the 2 best bigs whenever you talk about man for man. Dyer is probably the better player for Oak Hill so far as they're big, but as far as a combination, Family Christian can really kind of compete with them. Then that leads us into J.S. Clark, some players to watch there. Of course, everybody knows Taylor. She's a sophomore sensation, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds. You got Albert on the inside, as a guard as well. Then you have Ned on the inside, averaging 9. Again, they got a 3-headed monster as well, man. This is going to be a really great matchup. I'm really excited for that 245 game, man, and to kind of see who advances there. If I had to, again, shout out to Coach Ricks. We talked about this. Both coaches doing a great job. Really, all 4 coaches in this division doing a great job. But Coach Ricks coaching both boys and girls here in this group, man. It's tough, man. I'm going to lean towards Family Christian, man. Family Christian and the inside presence. I think they just kind of match up better. Again, I've been saying this. I think J.S. Clark matches up better against Oak Hill. But I think Family Christian just matches up a little bit better with J.S. Clark. So I wouldn't be upset if J.S. Clark advances. I think that would give Oak Hill a better game. But I think Family Christian will be able to slow it down, bang it inside. They'll be able to limit turnovers, and they're going to advance here. And this is going to be a division, man, where J.S. Clark, they lost some people as far as transferring out, man. But J.S. Clark's still there. Still there. They have no seniors. They'll bring everybody back. Everybody will get 2 years of experience at that point, and then they'll really be arguably the favorites in this division. But again, we're moving BC next year, so this will not be split. So I think they're moving up to 1A. Someone was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but that'll be even more interesting. Did you pick somebody in this one? Oak Hill?
Yeah, I picked Oak Hill.
Oak Hill. Shout out to Oak Hill, man. I think Oak Hill gets it done again as well. And I'm excited about this division, though, man. It's shaping up. It was a little slow to start, but it's rocking and rolling now. Gets us into the next one, man. Do you see any upsets brewing in Division 5? The best for last.
Man, listen, this division here has been the best all year, hands down, probably. Was last year, was this year. Shout out, looks like we kept talking, the storyline early in the show was, people that's been here before. Fabi's been here. Anacoco's been here. Hicks has been here. I'm going, of course, Hicks and Coach Cross at the job she's done. You mentioned it earlier. She would have my vote as Coach of the Year this year. If we were to give that trophy out, I think she gets her squad. They've totally bought in I saw it on someone said either last week when we were on, someone said kids were not showing up. Kids were talking about transferring, or did I see it on social media somewhere? And she came in and sold the vision of the team and where she wanted to take the program. And kids bought in. They stayed true to Hicks high school. And look at them, semifinals on the doorstep of a state title here. I'm going Hicks. Anacoco has done a magnificent job of what they're done this year. But you cannot, for the life of you, you cannot pick against Coach Jinx. And I'm not going to. So I'm going Hicks versus Fabu in the finals.
Okay, I love it. I love it, man. How's the saying go? There's some things that are just automatic. Death, taxes,
Exactly.
and Kyle Jinks in the top 28, man. Kyle Jinks
Exactly.
freaking just happens to find a way, man. Shout out to again what he's done year in year out. And for those that don't know, man, the dude was national coach of the year last year, and rightfully so, man. So it's been really exciting to see that program, over the last 10, 15 years, man, just be really, really good. And again, it's a reason why this division is so good, man, because everyone else is trying to keep up. So when you set the bar so freaking high, everyone else has to catch up to it. But in this division, man, some young ladies I want to give a shout out to, kind of keep an eye on. Reese Stevens from Hicks, number 24, averaging 18 points, 6 assists. She is signed to LSUA. Cheyenne Phillips. Where's Cheyenne? Dusty, where's Cheyenne signed to again? I need to post that as well. Cheyenne is averaging 25 and 15, man. A dog on the inside. An absolute dog. So that's somebody to keep an eye on. She's number 14. That's kind of their two-headed monster. And you talked about it already, man. What Coach Cross is doing is definitely spectacular. But whenever you're at this division and you've got two seniors, point guard and a center that can bang like that, averaging what is 43 points, 19 rebounds, and 11 assists, that definitely helps out a lot, right? I think any coach would definitely sign up for that, man. So shout out to them. That I'm sure that three, the coach and those two young ladies are so close, and they're a big reason why this squad's rocking and rolling. You get to Midland, man. Midland again doing what it takes to get down to this next level and into the top 28. I've said it before. I like Midland. I'm still like Midland. I love their draw. And here we are, man. They're at the top 28. Grayson Miller is somebody to keep an eye on. She's number 13, averaging 18.7 rebounds. Not sure. Did she sign? Yeah, I think she signed. One of the best shooters in the state, regardless of classification. And then, in my opinion, their second best player is Savoy, number 33. She's a beast, man. To see how Savoy and Cheyenne Phillips matches up, that is going to be a great game. I believe number 33, sophomore Savoy, is a future D1 player, right? Division I prospect at the low major, mid major level, and in order to be that, you got to step up in these big time games. So my challenge goes out to Savoy. If Savoy can handle and hold and limit Phillips, and that's going to take staying out of foul trouble as well, then I'm going to lean towards Midland. That's going to be the key matchup there. Whoever wins out of that one in Savoy and Phillips, and then they also have LeBlanc too on the inside. So Midland is well balanced. They got two forwards. They've got the point guard. They've got they've got a little bit of everything, right? Carlson is the point guard. They got the shooters, so they have a little bit of everything, and that's why I'm personally going to lean towards Midland. I think Midland, both these teams have kind of not necessarily been here, but these coaches. Congratulations to both of them, man. To make it to this next step in their coaching career, man. But I'm gonna lean towards Midland. Midland is gonna advance over Hicks. Whoever wins out, man.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Upset alert. Boop, boop. I've been calling it out though, man. I've been riding Midland this whole time, man. I can't jump off of them just yet. I love their draw. I think they match up with everybody. Like St. Thomas More last year, we talked about it, man. They match up with everybody outside of Fairview. So to have Fairview on the other side is definitely a great draw for Midland. Then you move down to the bottom side, man. Anacoco and Fairview. Some players to keep an eye on. Anacoco is well balanced. They got a lot of kids that are scoring double-digit points. You got number 11 in Bryant. She's scoring double digits. Number 15 in Davis, double digits. 13 in Henry. She's scoring double digits. And number 53, Joanna. All four scoring double digits, man. So shout out to them, man. Double digit scoring, having four guys in double digits. very well balanced. And the other starters average 9, man. So Anacoco can flat out score it. They can keep up with Fairview, I think. But again, man, Reese Jinks is a dog. Whenever it talks about playing with pace, no one does it better than really all the Jinx kids. But Reese has just done an exceptional job year in, year out, playing with that pace. They're going to shoot threes, but they're going to also get a bunch of layups because of the pace that Reese plays at. And again, whenever you're looking at this roster, last year, Fairview had this many seniors, 1. This year, Fairview has this many seniors, 1. So Fairview is going to be back again. I think Fairview just is Fairview, man. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Now, Hathaway did beat them last year, so they were able to get back over that hump, get back into the mix. I think at this point you're just super locked in, man. Fairview advances. They'll take on Midland. And then, like I said, man, Midland just doesn't match up well against Fairview. So I got Fairview winning it all. Cutting down the nets again, man, despite losing last year in the championship. Did you pick a squad?
I did not pick, but I'm about to pick. You going Fairview. I got Hicks versus Fairview in the final. And again, like I just said in the semifinals, man, you don't pick against Coach Jinks. Until Jordan Cross shows up and she takes her team to the state title in her first year. I'm going Hicks. They beat Fairview early this year, 75-68. And I'm going to ride Hicks, man, to win this. Give the Coach of the Year to Coach Cross and what she's done there. And I believe she hangs another banner to keep the tradition going at Hicks. Shout out to the Hicks Lady Pirates, I think, right? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so. The Pirates. Yeah, they're Pirates. Yeah. Cheyenne sounded sitting there, man. Okay, let's just go on record. I'm going on record here. Cheyenne will be all conference, and if she's not, I will. Everybody likes this post. I will give $5, $20, whatever, because Cheyenne is going to be a dog and sitting there. Shout out to Coach for getting that done, man. Fairview's made 23 semis in 25 years. Like we talked about, man, Texas, Death, and Coach Jinks in the semifinals, man. Shout out to them and what they got rocking and rolling. But you heard it here first, man. Coach is going on record. Coach Cross takes down Coach Jinks in the finals, man. That was on his side. I got Fairview, Fairview fans. We'll see you guys down there, man. Y'all can banter with him because you're not going to be bantering with me. I think, whenever you get a little taste of that coming up short, just kind of adds a little bit of motivation. And everybody on their Fairview team came back except for Miss Bella, who Bella is on at LSUA. So they brought back everybody. So that Fairview team is going to be, a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth, trying to get that out of their mouth. But Fairview versus Anacoco game, it's going to be about pace. That is going to be a fun one, man. When you talk about scoring, putting points on the board, man, that's going to be a fun one. I'm really excited about these games, man. I'm excited about the schedule that they put together. I think they'll just say hit a nail on the head with the way that they broke down the schedule and everything. And that's why you see Anacoco and Fairview being the 8 o'clock game. That's going to be a fun one. We talked about it. You can come into the game, $20, and it breaks down to $4 a game, man. Like, you cannot beat it. Anybody that has, young kids or people that are up and coming, AAU, whatever it is, man, come through, pay the $20, sit there all day. And as, the games keep going, you can move closer and closer and closer as people start leaving. Next thing you know, you're sitting first row. So shout out to all the teams that made it. Safe travels, everybody. Games start tomorrow at 1 o'clock. First game starts. We cannot live stream. A lot of people have been reaching out to us asking if we will be live streaming. We cannot. Games will be on NFHS Network, which is also called LHSA Network now. We do have a former student athlete in Emily Ward who went on to LSU from Benton High School. Went on to LSU. She won a national championship last year. She'll be doing the coverage there, so she's going to do a great job, man. Shout out to Emily and, program that the job she's done as a student athlete, but now she's going to be giving back. Coach, man, you got anything else, man, you want to leave us with?
Man, it's just just excited time for girls basketball here in the state, and shout out to everybody that made it to that gets to go play at Hammond. Give it your all, give it your best, and may the best team win. Lay into your plan, stick with your plan. I can tell you this: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Uh-oh. That's a good point, man. Coaches burn them timeouts early, man, because you can't bring them home with you. You can't bring them into summer league. And I want to comment on this comment here. Fairview is starting at 7th grader. Her name is Amy Turner. She's number 10. She can flat out stroke the rock. One of the best shooters in the state, regardless of classification. We've seen her knock down, I believe it was 6 threes in one of our live stream games, and I think she made 5 in the game before that. So she's made 10 threes in 2 games that we streamed back to back. So shout out to Andy Turner, man. She's probably going to be one of the best players to ever come through Fairview, and that's saying a lot, right? And she's only a 7th grader. She'll be on the big stage. She'll be a team that a household name that we'll be kind of looking out for. We'll kind of catch up on a little bit of comments, guys. But again, appreciate everyone for watching, man, tuning in with us. This will probably be the last one that we'll be live on. We'll go ahead and pop out the to start Lakeview and Arcadia to start it off, man. Some of these games, man, are absolutely. Let's go through the games that start tomorrow. Just kind of catch everybody up on that before I get off. Game start out tomorrow. Arcadia, Lakeview start us off. Then we got Jans Clark Family Christian, Parkview versus Menard, U High, St. Thomas Aquinas, and Oakdale White Castle. There is no easy games, man. There is no easy games all the way through. Can Parkway beat the Press? We don't know. I love it, man. So, again, guys, shout out to everybody, man. NFHS Network is going to be the place you're going to want to see these games at. They'll be live streaming them. Last year we had a little bit of Wi-Fi problems, so hopefully we don't have any problems this time. Turner is only the second 7th grader to ever start for Jinx. Cody is the last one. What's your name that went on to McNeese, I'd imagine? Crystal ball predictions, man. We'll jump on those as soon as we get off, man. We got to get those out. And again, we have 30 games. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, 30 games left. We'll be live. I may even go live at the arena, but they just won't let me broadcast any of the games. Safe travels to everybody, man. Safe travels. The coaches, you come down from Parkview, travel with your girls. Good luck. Appreciate everybody. Hope the internet works. Yeah, the internet was crazy last time. That goes for us as well. There was a cyber attack last time. It was wild. So hopefully the internet works. Should be all good. It's normally pretty good at Southeastern.
Yeah, they shut the power down or whatever, the internet down at Southeastern last year, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a cyber attack, man.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't have those issues, and man, so safe travels. I know you're gonna be a busy man next week, man. Shout out to you, man. You're my boy, and shout out to you for what you do for girls basketball, this platform, giving the girls an opportunity to shine bright. People get excited about LGR, and when they see LGR, man. So let's make sure we give you your flowers while you can smell them, man. So we appreciate you for what you do for this state, getting in around this state, taking time away from your family. You got out of coaching, man, to say, I'm going to give girls basketball a platform. And we appreciate you for what you do, man. Keep doing what you do. And much love on this end.
Absolutely, man. It takes a village, man. So, those comments never get old, man. So, anybody sees us out there, man, we'd love to hear from you, man. Whether it's talking crap about the crystal ball or just, talking girls basketball, man. All pubs, good pub for us. And like we like to say, man, opportunities don't go away. They just go to somebody else. So, the more opportunities we can continue to give as a whole to our girls, man, the better. So, appreciate everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow. Games start in, what is that, like 15 hours, man, 14, 15 hours. So it's like the night before Christmas right now. I don't know if I'm going to get any sleep, man, but I'm fired up. I'm excited, man.
Hey, Deasia Alexandra right now is in her hotel room. Timlin Washington's in her hotel room. Probably it's lights out. Coach Fuller, Coach Curry has those girls lights out. We got semifinal basketball tomorrow live from Hammond, baby.
Hoo! Man, it's what we live for, man. I appreciate everybody.